Hello students. So as you have seen the previous lecture of Z parameters, so now you are ready for your next set of parameters, and that are your Y parameters. But before we start with Y parameters, the one thing that we just left in the Z parameters is that when we define your all the parameters, either it is Z11, Z21, Z12 or Z22, we define them by either opening the input port, either the input port is open or the output port is opened. So that is why your Z parameters are also called as your open circuit parameters. So in your exams, it can come by any name. Either it can be a Z parameter or it can come as find out the open circuit parameters, right? So now we need to concentrate on our Y parameters definition, then its equivalent model, and then the numerical based on your Y parameters. So let's first define our Y parameter equations. You all know that your relation between Z and Y, I think you all know that this is called as admittance. As you define the relation between resistance and conductance, in the similar way, you define the relation between your impedance and admittance. The reciprocal of impedance will give you the value of your admittance, and that is why your these parameters are also known as your admittance parameters. So they can come with any name in your exams. So you need to know all the three names by which they are called. So now again, coming on to your Ohm's law, your Ohm's law is equals to V equals to IR. We all know that. And in the previous Z parameters, we replaced R with Z. So now if I want to get the value of I upon V, what will happen to this Z? It will go towards that side and it will become 1 upon Z. And we just read that your 1 upon Z is nothing but it is equals to Y. So that means now all the equations that we are going to write will be in terms of I upon V when we are going to define our admittance parameters. And when we are going to write down the equations, now your I will depend upon the value of V of the input port and the output port. So now our currents I1 and I2 will be dependent variables, while V1 and V2 will be independent variables. So let's write down the equations. So here we come with your I1 and I2, that are the currents of input port and the output port. And here we go with our input port voltage, output port voltage, similarly here. And again, like we write down the matrices, Y11, Y12, Y21, and Y22. So these are the equations that are going to define our all the four Y parameters. So let's first draw its equivalent model. Now just pay attention to that your this term is equal to this current. That means your current is getting divided into two parts. First part is this and second part is this. And you all know that if I have applied here something and my current is getting divided here, so that means the circuit will be in parallel only, because when we talk about a series circuit, the current will remain same throughout. So that means now the circuit that we are going to draw will be a parallel one when we are going to draw the equivalent Y model. So here just see that now your this Y11 is on the related with your V1 as well as with your I1. So this is not dependent on anything, but what about your this variable? Your this input side current is now dependent on the output side voltage. So again, that makes it to be a diamond shaped symbol and current in this. So that becomes a voltage dependent current source, right? So now we have to draw it. Just let me mark it in the parallel form, otherwise it will be a little bit confusing here. So here we come on to your Y11, and here we come on to your parallel combination. Let me write it with red, y12 v2. So now similarly we are going to write down the output side. So here again your y22 is concerned with output side current and output port voltage, but your this thing, this value is now voltage dependent current source, because output port current I2 is dependent on the input side current, input side voltage V1 value. So now this becomes our complete Y model from these two equations. Now let's define all the variables y11, y12, y21 and y22 one by one. So now we are going to define our y11. So from this equation, we are going to get our y1 as I1 upon v1, making your this as 0 will give v2 equals to 0. Similarly, we are going to find out the value of y21. That will give me the value I2 upon v1, again for v2 equals to 0. So that means voltage will become equal to 0 only when I am going to short my output terminals. So that means now these set of parameters we are going to get when we are going to short our output terminals. Now what about your y12 and y22? Just see here. Now my y12 will be equal to, let me just rub this thing, because we need to concentrate on now this and this, making our this thing equal to 0. Similarly, we are going to concentrate on this and this by making our v1 equals to 0. So y12 will be equals to I1 upon v2 for v1 equals to 0. Similarly, y22 will be equal to I2 upon v2, again for v1 equals to 0. Now that means we have to short our input terminals to calculate the value of y12 and y22. So that gives me another name for our y parameters, and that is called as short circuit parameters. So if you people are given with open circuit parameters, you are going to find out the Z parameters, and if short circuit parameters, you need to calculate your Y parameters. So now let's start with our numerical. So now we have to calculate our this pair of parameters, that is y11 and y21, because to calculate our these two parameters, we have to make our output side as shorted. So just see here that when I am going to short my this output port, my this resistance, that is 4 ohms resistance, will get shorted, because when the current will come here, it is going to find out a zero resistance path and it will not go through our 4 ohm resistor. So we need to draw the circuit again. Mind it, if for all your parameters, if you are going to draw the circuit again and again for when you are shorting your one side of port and then the other one, then your numerical, there are less chances that your numerical is going to get wrong. So this is 1 ohm, 2 ohm and 2 ohm. So here you get your V1 and here you get your I1. So I think you can easily calculate your V1 now, because your V1 will be equal to, just see here, your current is getting divided into two portions. So that makes 2 in parallel with 2 and then in series with 1, and this whole when multiplied by I1 will give me the value of V1. So 2 in parallel with 2 make it to be 1, then plus 1 will make it to be 2. So that means V1 will be equals to 2 into I1. But mind it that now you have to put that V1 in the denominator, because now the your impedance, you are calculating admittance, and that will be in mhos. So I1 cancels out and you get 1 by 2 mho as the value of Y11. And there is a very interesting thing that you should keep in mind when you are going to calculate your these two parameters together. Your this V1 value will same come over in your this parameter. So you need not do anything, just write both of them together and just mention here 2I1. You need not calculate it again. Just take the same value as in your y1 over to your y21. Now, what about your this I2? It is by default that we always take your, in this last branch, the current as inwards as I2. So, but if you check your this branch carefully, you are going to see that there is this current I1 that is coming in this branch, as well as we have marked that I2 is also in this direction. So in a single wire, you cannot have two different currents. So that makes that your this part of I1, let's say that this part is Ix, is there. And so this is equals to I2, but your direction of both of them is opposite. So this makes our I2 to be equal to minus of Ix. Right? So what is this Ix? It is the part of I1 that is coming to our this branch. We need to calculate it. If I1 is coming out here and two equal resistances of each 2 ohms is there, so that means I1 is going to get divided into half. So that makes I2 to be equal to minus of I1 by 2. So let's put the value here. So I1 and I1 will cancel out, and we are going to get the value of minus 1 by 4 mho, right? So now let's find, similarly, we have to find our next set of parameters, that is Y22 and Y12. So now we are going to calculate our Y12 and Y22 by making our input port as shorted. So just see, when we are going to short over this port, the current that is I2 coming from here, the part of the current that is coming here is going to see two paths. One is this and this. When there is a resistance over this branch, there will be no short, because when you are going to look from here, from this side, you are going to find that while this got short, but still a 1 ohm resistor is in this shorted path. So the current will see 1 ohm. 1 ohm plus 0 will make it to be 1 ohm only, so nothing gets shorted here. So in such a case, nothing will get shorted, but I'm going to draw the circuit again like this. So that makes it the calculations in an easier way. So this is my V2. This is I2. So this is 1, 2, 2, and 4. So now I think that we can calculate the value of V2. So my this 1 and 2 will be in parallel first. Then our this combination is going to be in series with 2. And then the whole this combination, if you just see, my this whole combination is going to be in parallel with our 4 ohm resistor. This whole, when multiplied by I2, will give me the value of V2. So now we have just solved this combination of series and parallel of the resistance. 1 in parallel with 2 will give me the value of 2 by 3, plus 2 will give me the value of 8 by 3. And then in parallel combination with 4 will give me the value of 8 by 5. So I am going to put the value over here. So this will give me the value of 8 by 5 into I2. I2 and I2 cancels out. So I will get the value of Y22 as 5 by 8 mho. So the last parameter that I am going to calculate is Y12, and mind it, this same value we are going to put over here. So I will be just writing here 8 by 5 I2. And now I need to calculate the value of this I1 in terms of I2, as we did it in our previous case of Y21. So let me just rub it here, and then we will calculate the value of Y12. So now, as we did in our previous part, we have to take that our I1 is coming like this, right? So now we have to calculate the part of I2 that is reaching towards this branch. Let's say that this part is IY. So we need to calculate IY, because now I1 will be equal to negative of IY, because they both are in the same branch. This is my I1 and this is my IY. So in a single branch, same current can only flow, but the direction is because different. So this negative sign has been taken. So now we need to calculate the value of IY. You can do it with your current division rule as well as with your nodal analysis, whatever you want to carry on. So I will just be taking the current division. So I have just taken this parallel combination as 8 by 3 as we calculated in our last case. So now this 8 by 3, we need to calculate the current in 8 by 3. So I2 dash will be equal to total current multiplied by this opposite branch resistance, that is 4, divided by sum of the two resistances, that is 8 by 3 plus 4. So this value of I2 dash will be the current here. This value will be I2 dash, from where we are going to calculate our IY. So now after solving our this relation, I am going to get the value as 3 by 5 I2. So this current is the one that is coming to our this branch. So now we need to calculate the value of IY that is coming in 1 ohm branch. So now taking this as the total current entering these two parallel branches, we are going to define IY as total current 3 by 5 I2 multiplied by opposite branch resistance, that is 2, divided by sum of the two resistances, that is 1 plus 2, that is 3. So now my this 3 and 3 cancels out and I am left with 2 by 5 I2. So let's put the value in this. And now just remember that negative sign, because I just told you that my IY is equals to minus of IY, right? So this negative sign over here and then the value of IY I am going to put. So this I2 and I2 cancels, this 5 and 5 cancels, my this 2 is going to cancel this 8 with 4. So I am left with minus 1 by 4 more. And just check that your y21 value was also minus 1 by 4 and your y12 is also minus 1 by 4. So now this is again a cross check for your y parameters, that these values will be equal. So in our next lecture, we are going to cover up your h parameters as well as your transmission parameters, that are also called your ABCD parameters. So the next lecture will be the combination of these two parameters, and the same numerical we are going to solve for your H parameter as well, right? So that's all for now.